Hi, boys and girls. We're still talking about the moral of the story, characters, and the setting of a story. And today I want to add some different features of the book that I want you guys to pay attention to as you're reading. These are things that you learned about in kindergarten, so it should just be a reminder, almost like a refresher. Okay, so we always have a title for a book. So the title of this book is The Empty Pot. We read a book yesterday that was called The Lucky Bamboo, and we read a book on Monday that was called Mr. Wrinkles. Those were the titles of each of those books. The title of this book is The Empty Pot. You also have the author of the book. The author of the book is the person that wrote the words. And an illustrator is the person that drew or colored the pictures. Okay, so today we're going to read The Empty Pot, and this just says it's by Demi. That's because this is an old like an old folk tale. So it's one of those books that have been written many different ways, and this is just one version of it. Okay. So as we're reading, you need to be thinking about the moral of the story, the characters, and the setting. A long time ago in China, there was a boy named Ping who loved flowers. Anything he planted burst into bloom. Up came flowers, bushes, and even big fruit trees, as if by magic. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers too. They planted them everywhere, and the air smelled like perfume. The emperor loved birds and animals, but flowers most of all, and he tended his own garden every day. But the emperor was very old. He needed to choose a successor to the throne. That means he needed to choose somebody to take over whenever he was done being emperor, whenever he got too old. Who would his successor be? And how would the emperor choose? Because the emperor loved flowers so much, he decided to let the flowers choose. The next day, a proclamation was issued. All the children in the land were to come to the palace. There they would be given special flower seeds by the emperor. Whoever can show me their best in a year's time, he said, will succeed me to the throne. Their news created great excitement throughout the land. Children from all over the country swarmed to the palace to get their flower seeds. All the parents wanted their children to be chosen emperor, and all the children hoped they would be chosen too. When Ping received his seed from the emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. Ping filled a flower pot with rich soil. He planted the seed in it very carefully. He watered it every day. He couldn't wait to see it sprout, grow, and blossom into a beautiful flower. Day after day passed, but nothing grew in his pot. Ping was very worried. He put new soil into a bigger pot. Then he transferred the seed into the rich black soil. Another 2 months he waited. Still, nothing happened. By and by, the whole year passed. Spring came, and all the children put on their best clothes to greet the emperor. They rushed to the palace with their beautiful flowers, eagerly hoping to be chosen. Ping was ashamed of his empty pot. He thought the other children would laugh at him because for once he couldn't get a flower to grow. His clever friends ran by holding a great big plant. Ping, he said, you're not really going to the emperor with an empty pot, are you? Couldn't you grow a great big flower like mine? I've grown lots of flowers better than yours, Ping said. It's just the seed that won't grow. Ping's father overheard this and said, You did your best, and your best is good enough to present to the emperor. Holding the empty pot in his hands, Ping went straight away to the palace. The emperor was looking at the flowers slowly, one by one. How beautiful all of the flowers were. But the emperor was frowning and did not say a word. Finally, he came to Ping. Ping hung his head in shame, expecting to be punished. The emperor asked him, Why did you bring an empty pot? Ping started to cry and replied, I planted the seed you gave me and I watered it every day, but it didn't sprout. I put it in a better pot with better soil, but still it didn't sprout. I tended it all year long, but nothing grew. So today I had to bring an empty pot without a flower. It was the best I could do. When the emperor heard these words, a smile slowly spread over his face, and he put his arm around Ping. Then he exclaimed to one and all, I have found him. I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. Where you got your seeds from, I do not know, for the seeds I gave you all had all been cooked, so it was impossible for any of them to grow. So the emperor gave all the other children, he gave all of the children seeds that couldn't grow at all. And so all of the other children that brought these pots with big, beautiful flowers, they didn't use the seeds that the emperor gave them. They just used different seeds that they found or that they bought. So they weren't really being honest. I admire Ping's great courage to appear before me with the empty truth. And now I reward him with my entire kingdom and make him emperor of all the land. Okay, so in this story, the main character is Ping. The title is The Empty Pot. The setting is China. And the moral of the story is to be honest. Make sure that you watch the next video so you know what to do. Your assignment is a little bit different today than it's been before.